what's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube and Rumble subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at again with another and what will end up being the final episode of the I almost say Young Guns podcast, of the Just Chillin podcast. I'm getting a bit mixed up. Young Guns is tomorrow. Of the Just Chillin podcast call-in show. The final one before the draft, that is. That's because next week I got some special plan for y'all. Just like I do this Sunday. I will not be doing a mock draft episode this Sunday like I've been doing for most of the Sundays the past couple of months. You know, I come on. Sometimes I have people from the chat. The chat is directly involved. Sometimes I have guests on. We do the mock draft simulator. That's not going to be the case. This Sunday, in fact, I will be doing a Jeopardy game night quiz type of thing. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I'll be having a Jeopardy edition of the Just Chillin' podcast. It will be one that is NFL themed and one that is NFL draft themed. The NFL themed one might be tweaked to specifically Giants themed. I haven't decided yet, but there will be 2 Jeopardy games that night. And then instead of having the call-in show next week, it will be the Jeopardy show, but with you guys. Well, I guess call-in a sense, that being with the contestants will be the viewers. The contestants will be one of you subscribers, and I'll have like a Google form set up so that you guys could just submit a quote-unquote application. It's just a way for me to get to know who wants to be on, who doesn't want to be on. And, well, when the time comes, we'll figure that out. But I just need to put that out there. Sunday, it's going to be with content creators. Tuesday, it's going to be with y'all. With that being said, let me give a shout-out to everybody. Then I'll go ahead and pop on a couple of guests that I asked to come on tonight. They're already backstage. We got Yvette's in here. What's up, man? Kayla. Mike Nixon, the GOAT. Edward Chan. No Mets, no Jets, no Nets. LaVance, how you doing? Oh, and Manny's in there too. Speaking of Manny, Manny's up here as well, along with his link down below. Manny, how you doing? And we got Logan back here. What's up, y'all? If you guys don't know these guys, definitely check them out both on Twitter and on YouTube. Go over there, sub up their channels. What's up, guys?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are y'all?
I'm good, man. I'm just we're in the final stage of waiting for the draft. At this point, we're all like crack fiends scratching our neck, waiting for the Giants to go to the stage and make their picks. So
you're right. You're not wrong.
But
what's going on? What's going on? Hey, Logan, what's going on, boss? I never had a chance to meet you, so it's good to talk to you and can't wait to chop it up with you.
Yes,
Kush,
sir.
as always. Yeah, you got it right, bro. I'm down. I'm Dave Chappelle. I'm Clarence, scratching my neck, waiting. And honestly, that Charles Cross news did not help with my withdrawals. So,
hold up, what Charles Cross news? Did I miss
What
something?
happened?
There's Peter Schrager put out a mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
His mock drafts are a little different when it comes to, he's not a coach, he's not a dude that knows X's and O's like that, but he's a guy who's just going off of who he knows in the league around those teams and what's going on, like what rumors are saying pretty much. So, and he had the Giants drafting Charles Cross 5, Sauce 7. The big deal is that he drafted Cross over Evan Neal. Evan Neal went 8 to the Falcons.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this. I don't know how much I'm about to like weigh on his mock draft. I know who Peter Schrager is. I think most people watching the show definitely know who he is. He's great dude, man. He's a great reporter. He's a great personality on Good Morning Football too. But I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily put too much on that particular mock draft, man.
I guess he has connections in the league. Like,
yeah,
I would say he does, like, if his mocks are coming from them, as opposed to like, hey, what Daniel Jeremiah would do if he was the GM of this team, that's a little different. But what's your opinions on it, Logan?
Before I do that, I need to pop on somebody that I've been trying to have on the show for a minute. This dude is a New York Giants content creator legend. He's been doing it for years now, along with a couple fellow co-hosts. If you guys don't know him, you haven't been probably watching YouTube that long. It is Marco from Bleed Big Blue. I'm sure you guys know them from the Shame list, and it was the list of shame, and I'm forgetting the good one, but all I remember is the sound effect from Game of Thrones with the bell going shame, and I know I'm be looking forward to that. How you doing, man?
Good. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. This is, I think, the first time I've actually come on someone else's show. So
really,
yeah.
Haven't you been with Pesp or no?
Like I called once or twice when I was driving, but it wasn't really like something
Oh, it
formal.
wasn't like popping on the show type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, then I hear you. Hey, well, I mean, I guess you could bounce right off of Manny's question, Manny, if you could repeat it real quick. But hey, I've been waiting to get you on, man. Happy to have you here.
Yeah, no problem.
Marco, huge fan of Bleed Big Blue. I
Oh, thank
appreciate you,
Thank you.
and I appreciate your content.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, I was just kind of going off of the Peter Schrager mock that was released today. Him going cross over Neal for the Giants at 5, and us still getting Sauce at 7. What's your opinion on that?
I didn't see it yet. I'm not that huge of a draft guy. I don't think they're gonna go cross anyway. My feeling is that they're gonna trade back. That's what I'm hoping is gonna happen.
With 5?
Yeah,
Or with
I
7?
think they're gonna trade out of either one. Most likely it's gonna be they would have to trade 5.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the one because Carolina's right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just depends on what Carolina would do.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know if you guys saw it today, but Ben McAdoo was
Oh Lord.
I know right away, right? He was being interviewed, and because he's the offensive coordinator of the Panthers, and they asked him like, "Is Sam Darnold your starting quarterback?" And he mentioned yes, and then 2 minutes later he was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I got to work better with media." So I don't know if he's playing like super chess moves over here, thinking that far ahead, or is he the Panthers not going to go for a QB? So you have that, but I probably think the Steelers will probably try to move up.
Mm-hmm. And then Logan, what'd you think about the mock, man? I know you were shaking your head over there a second ago.
Yeah, I really like Charles Cross. I think he's by far the most technically sound pass protector out of the top 3 tackles. But if we were to take him over Evan Neal, I'd be pissed.
I rightfully so. I mean, like, this is not helping my Charles Cross is better than people give him credit for narrative, because obviously I would choose Evan Neal over Cross. Neal is what a lot of people consider the number 1 tackle in here. My number 1 is Akeem Ekwonu. I've gone over that many times, but Evan Neal is no joke. They're right there, in my opinion, neck and neck. And then there's Cross, but you guys have known, if you've kind of been keeping track of just, I guess you could call it draft talk over like the past couple of months, there's been just like Charles Cross's, like people's opinion of him has just been slipping from the moment that the offseason began all the way to now. Like, there's people that wouldn't even want to take him at 5, even if he is the only tackle available, which I would say you should take him at 5 if he's the only tackle available. But nah, in this situation, man, Schrager, I'm going to have to say that's not going to happen, bro. I can't see the Giants passing on a guy like Evan Neal like that.
Yeah,
I hope so. I hope you're right. I hope you're right because, yeah, I mean, I agree with what everyone has said. You know, I would – yeah, I mean, Charles Cross is – I mean, you really can't get upset, I guess, when you think about it because it's not – because remember, I don't know how you guys felt when we got Andrew Thomas 4 overall in 2020, but I was kind of like –
let me stop you right there. You're speaking to Andrew Thomas's biggest fan. I wanted that man since we beat Washington in that Week 17 game. So I was extremely happy that night when we got him.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, for fans that want to like lose games at the expense of getting players, no, that's Eagle shit. I'd rather just win out and just get the best player available. If we have a good GM, then we should be able to get a good player at a high premium pick. But back to what I was just saying before, I think the everyone said when we drafted Andrew Thomas, what was the narrative? He's like the 4th best tackle in the draft,
which was cap.
You know, yeah, like he wasn't worth the pick at 4. And now, you know, I'm not saying he's better than Tristan Wirfs or anything, but I'm definitely saying the conversation is one to have, and especially because he does play the premium spot at left tackle, whereas Wirfs on the right side. And Marco, he has Tom Brady as his QB.
Before you go and respond to that, Marco, and then Logan, I just want to say real quick that entire narrative, I had to make several videos on it, but like it was basically, to me, it was always a false narrative because he entered that offseason being the number 1 tackle, and then for some reason he just kind of slipped. And listen, I'm no expert, I'm no breaking down film expert, I'm not an NFL expert, I'm obviously not an NFL insider or anything, but from what I saw from the media, it just looked like they shift around these rankings to kind of make a story sometimes, and that's what I saw with Andrew Thomas. And then after Tristan Wirfs had he started exploding onto the scene. After the combine and stuff, like Thomas just got lower and lower, which didn't make too much sense to me because I thought in college he was the best tackle there. And obviously it wasn't helped out that he had a rough rookie year, but then there's so many things to consider. There's the foot injury that he had. There's the fact that he had 2 different offensive line coaches. There's the fact that he was working with Daniel Jones, who doesn't have the best pocket presence and really doesn't help out his offensive lineman that much. And then you mentioned Tristan Wirfs. All respect to Tristan Wirfs, and I want to give him credit where credit is due, but he was in the exact opposite situation. He's working with one of the best, if not the best quarterbacks of all time that always makes his offensive line looks good and that always knows how to maneuver in the pocket not to get sacked, along with working alongside guys on the offensive line to help him out as well. You know, like Thomas was working next to Will Hernandez, who's no longer on the team anymore. Wirfs was, I don't even know who he was working with, to be honest with you. But that year, the Tampa Bay offensive line was very impressive. But go ahead, let me get Marco and then Logan if you got any thoughts on that.
So that year, I think it was Wirfs, Thomas, Becton, and there was a fourth guy.
Wills.
Wills.
Yeah, Wills. I think I like Thomas like 1B out of. I think I like Tristan Wirfs first, and then Thomas, and then I had Becton, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not mad at that pick. It worked out, so I'm not even gonna, go over it millions of times. And I think if you pair, I'm getting tongue tied. I think if you pair Thomas now with, a Neal or something along that line, you have a solid start at least.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead, Logan.
Yeah, I don't even want to discuss this too much because people know my feelings. Thomas is the #1 tackle in that draft class.
Short and sweet. Let me get this super chat from Tuda Azuri, $5. He says, Saluti, Kush, and Marco draft by the office to pay our proper respects, and for all Giants fans around the world, slap all stinky boys losers out the door. You're going to have to add Manny and Logan to that, my boy Tudo. But I appreciate the $5 super chat. And I saw a couple people ask it already. He's the guy that's on the screen right now. He's the guy that's in the title. So I'll open up this, I guess you could call it, topic before I pop on the first caller from the chat. It's going to be the Kadarius Toney, whatever you want to call it, situation, or just him not showing up to voluntary workouts, which was a very short topic last week. But it's gained more and more steam amongst Giants fans on Twitter and other social media because they're seeing like, okay, there's actually like 30-something people at these voluntary workouts. You got the big names, the guys that are getting paid a lot of money. We have a reason, or at least we think we know a reason for Bradberry not showing up, and that's that Bradberry is obviously waiting to see what happens, whether the Giants trade him, cut him, or whatnot. There hasn't been any such reason with Kadarius Toney. So let me start with Manny, then Marco, then Logan. Let's see what you guys think about it, if any thoughts you got on it.
I'll make this real short as well. I don't care. Listen, ideally, would Kadarius Toney be there? Yeah, that would be awesome. But it's voluntary. And I get that players, albeit he's young, but players like to be in their routine and they like to be in, be able to train with their own coaches, doing their own things. I think that video was more him trolling than anything. I really don't think he's out there in, freaking designer shoes, running routes in trees, but with trees and whatnot in the background. But I think he is getting work, and I think it's one of those things. Is just if he doesn't show up for like mandatory, then that's when it's an issue. And if he doesn't show up in the season on the field, then that's a bigger issue. So I'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Marco.
Yeah, I agree. I hate to be the one to agree all the time, but I don't care. Now, it's not a good look, I'll tell you that much. You want to see him there, but if he shows up during the season, he plays and he's healthy, whatever to the offseason, voluntary.
Mm-hmm. And then Logan, are you much of the same?
Yeah, I prefer if he was there because it'd be a little bit better, but I'm not mad at the guy. Just do what you got to do. As long as you're there for the mandatory and you're there for the season, I'm cool with it. Just do what you got to do, bro.
So I got a question for all you guys, since you guys were kind of on the same side of the fence here with the answer. What do you say to fans that for some reason are super, super worried about it? Do you have anything at all to say to them? Like, how would you tell them, hey, it's not that serious in your eyes? What would you say to them?
Say, relax, it's April.
That's a good one.
Go grab a beer and chill out. I don't know, man.
And then shout out to go
relax.
ahead,
man. No, just relax. It's not good. Doesn't look like. I mean, it's not great optics. Okay, but it's April, and there's still a lot more left. There's still a lot more left in the offseason. So if he balls out, we're gonna forget about this. It's not gonna be an issue.
Shout out to a couple members in the chat. We got Nikki in here, the first ever member, longtime member, along with Bobby Woodruff. Tudo with another super chat. He says, salute Marsh. I said Marsh. Salute Kush, Marco, Manny, and Logan. Now, there was no need for you to send a super chat for that message, but I do appreciate the support too, though. He got all of us in there that time. Now, this is a comment from CGC Torag. He says, voluntary or not, Toney should be there. He's not an established player, and we are installing a new offense, period. Anybody want to respond, or anybody has anything to say to that?
It's voluntary.
It's April.
Two very short, succinct responses.
I don't want to make it that short, but I'll just say, I mean, yes, I agree. Optics-wise, it doesn't look great, and you would want him to be there. That being said, it's voluntary, and they're allowed to do what they want. We're talking about practice. Allen Iverson.
I love that you said that, because Duran just said the same thing. Duran just said the same thing in chat. He said, we're talking about practice. Practice.
Genius, Duran. Yes. I mean, it's practice. And at the end of the day, if he balls out in the season, no one's going to care.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will respond to this one comment that was just made where it says Toney is showing zero respect for the new staff. I will say we don't know that. We don't know what conversations he's been having with Brian Daboll behind the scenes, what conversations he's been having with Mike Kafka behind the scenes. They probably, listen, and this is an assumption on my part as well, yes, but we're all assuming that maybe there's been no communication between the two, and I doubt that there's been absolutely zero communication between both parties. But I'm still in the party right now that's like, when it gets to mandatory workouts, and if he's not there, it's a legitimate issue. We got some in our hands. And then the other person, James Bradberry, like I said, we all know a potential reason for him not showing up. But I've never had you on the show before, Marco, and this is a topic that's been beaten to death with everybody else. Just to get your thoughts, though, what do you think is going to happen with James Bradberry versus what do you want to do with James Bradberry?
I'm surprised he hasn't been moved already. Now, rumors have him being cut. I doubt that. Most likely, I think you get at least a fourth for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather move him rather than be cut.
You'd rather trade him. Do you see him moving anytime soon? Are we talking about a draft day trade here, which is what I'm starting to believe? Maybe even after the draft? What do you think's happening?
I think they would want to do it before the draft. That would be best case scenario. This way, hopefully, you get another pick this year. But and to piggyback off of something the other commenter said before about Toney not showing up, it's like it's not a good look. But what it does, it leaves the door open for everyone just to talk shit about him, especially if he doesn't pull out. Then it leaves him wide open.
Yeah, obviously if he does not show up to these workouts, we go into the 2022 season and he's healthy and he posts like anything below, I want to say 800, 900 yards, I feel like there's going to be people getting on him. Especially from like the kind of potential that we saw during the Saints and Cowboys game. He's definitely leaving the door open.
I think if the team just wins as well. Like I think it's either got to be two things. The team's got to be winning, and I mean like winning like they're looking like a playoff contender, that type of winning. Either has to be that, or he just needs to be balling. Like you said, that 800-900 yard deal.
And then now let me start popping on. We already got 4 callers back here, so I definitely want to get to each and every one of them. The first one is Mike Nixon, legend. How you doing, Mike? What's up, bro? What you got for us?
Yeah. I mean, everybody said it. This is voluntary minicamp, and it doesn't look good, I know, but if he doesn't show up for mandatory, that's when I'll worry. This is just getting ridiculous.
Nah, I'm with you there, man.
The man has a life.
Yeah. I definitely feel like there's a little bit, I guess, I hate to use the term old school because it feels like I'm picking or I'm saying that old school mentality is a bad thing, but I can't think of anything better right now where it's like fans have that view of the players got to show up to everything. They got to be working 110% on everything. I mean, I'm like, we're talking about a guy, right, that we know he has a little bit of an injury history. What if part of the reason he's not there because he's like, I'm not trying to get injured during voluntary minicamp in April?
Right.
I don't know. I'm throwing things out there. That could be something else as well.
I mean, we'll know tomorrow because I'm sure all the reporters are gonna ask Stable and Shane the same question. Where's Toney? Have you been in contact with him?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And so now, Mike, you brought up something interesting, which goes back to one of the comments. I'm gonna post it to Logan and Marco here and Manny. If that question is asked and the answer is no, we haven't been in contact, are you worried then?
That I'd be worried with that. That would make
Yeah.
me. That wouldn't make me feel good.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
would just continue that narrative.
But then again, are they really gonna answer that?
I mean, I don't know. They'd want to. There's the idea that they want to save face, but we've seen coaches do that
Yeah.
before. I'd say we've seen coaches just completely be transparent to the media sometimes.
Well, we know one thing. If it was Judge, we wouldn't be getting an answer.
Yeah, that too. But Marco, what would you say? And then Logan, if the answer was nah, we haven't had any contact. It's just been silent radio.
I think they're pretty good with the media that they would deflect that or say there's some sort of contact or they're going through the list of players or something like that. I don't think they would
Right.
say it straight out.
How do you? Well, we've had how many press conferences have we had with Dayball? There was the introductory one. Has there been any since, or maybe small interviews?
The
or
combine.
something? The combine, yeah. What do you? How would you rate his media skills compared to Joe Judge? Just since you brought it up, Mike, because Judge was always you were at some point last year. It got to where I was not looking forward to his press conferences anymore, and I was just getting annoyed with them. So how'd you rate it? It's very small sample size.
I mean, he says all the right things
For now.
For now.
Yeah.
For now. Like you said, it's a small sample size, so I mean,
we'll see.
Tomorrow is a big day for press conferences where you have Brian Dable and then Joe Shane's pre-draft presser. So maybe we'll find something out tomorrow, but who knows? Maybe not.
Let me just get a couple quick comments here from the chat. Captain L27 says, I don't care because Toney has a choice. As long as he performs when he needs to, then it doesn't matter. Jeff says, if he doesn't show up when it's mandatory, then it's a problem. Right now, it isn't. Let's see here. Super Taj just reiterating the Allen Iverson quote, not a game. We're talking about practice. Luann says, it don't matter if it's April. It shows character and wanting to work with the team. I'm guessing going against Toney there with that comment. Let's see here. Peter says respect needs to be paid to the team, and for a guy that can't get on the field, he needs to get on there. I'm guessing the comment got cut off.
What I'll ask.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
I just want to respond to those two comments. What I'll ask to them is, what will happen if he ends up balling out? Well, then will you say that okay, now players don't need to go to voluntary stuff? When will you guys care if he balls out? Will this even be a thing? That's really at the end of the day what's going to matter. The reason why the boat trip was such a big deal for OBJ and that whole thing that happened with the Giants was because he dropped passes, like touchdown passes, and that not just him, but also Sterling Shepard dropped a few passes.
The only receiver that showed up, I think, was Travis Rudolph, right? That actually made some catches that playoff game.
I think it was
Tavares King. Tavares King. Yeah.
Georgia. Yeah, another Georgia Bulldog. I think that's what made it worse, is that they went to Miami, partied, then they came in and dropped balls and didn't perform. So if that happens, then okay, yes, you guys were right. If it doesn't, what is the narrative? Nobody should have voluntary stuff next year.
What would you guys say to the idea that football is not his first priority? And let me hear Mark first, Logan if you're back, Manny, and then Mike. Do you get that, any type of impression like that from Toney? Because that's also a narrative that seems to be out there. Football is not his first priority. So go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Doesn't seem like it to me.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, if your boss tells you we have this voluntary thing, you don't have to show up. It's not no big deal, but you don't have to come. But we definitely need you here on this date, and you show up on that date. You can't hold it against them.
Mm-hmm. Logan?
I don't want to say yes because so far he seems like a good guy. He seems like he wants to help the team out, but sometimes I get a feeling that's not his first priority. But it's too early to tell.
Okay. And Manny?
I mean, it doesn't seem like it, but I've always been like the mindset. What if you could do something for like 5 hours of the day that doesn't take out the other, 19 hours that you can get in some work and do something else from that side. But it doesn't. But for right now, I mean, again, it's just gonna go back to next year. It did this year coming up. How he does this year will say it all.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mike.
I'll just put it like this: if football wasn't a priority, he wouldn't be doing it. He would be focused on his music.
Mm-hmm.
So I think football is a priority to him. It's voluntary. And nobody seemed to like bully Odell. Why isn't he showing up? Because he balled out. And guarantee if Toney balls out this year, we won't hear another peep about him not showing up to voluntary minicamp.
Now I'll say this, Mike. That idea is the one that everybody's been saying so far. But I'll say this: the reason that you mentioned Odell was because he was already established, and I'm seeing a couple comments like that in the chat. Which, yeah, I do agree with those comments, saying that he has yet to establish himself as a legitimate star or as a legitimate, consistent number 1, number 2 type option to kind of get these passes. We'll just have to wait and see if that comes to it. And Mike, let me get another question from you or thought that you want us to talk about, and then I got CJ up next.
I can't wait for this draft.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically my second Christmas.
In April.
Yep.
We're only 9 days away. Next week.
Sir.
Yep.
Fucking love the draft.
But anyway, I'll let CJ come on.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody have a good night.
You too, man.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Yep.
Thinking about it, even if Toney does ball out and he doesn't show up to like some other voluntary thing, I think the media is still going to get on him. It's New York's media. It's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Odell was balling out, and they still were on him for anything he did. But he gave him antics to criticize. So
yeah, I mean Odell hasn't even been replaced yet. We got what I find, they love those guys that fit the quote unquote that's the New York Giant build. Like Saquon Barkley, for example, he's missed so many games. You don't really see the media kind of going out there and slandering isn't the right term, but they don't really be talking bad about him that much. There's a certain build that they seem to want in terms of character.
Do you know how many hate comments I was getting saying that they're definitely trading Odell? It's definitely happening. Saquon's more the stereotypical like New York Giant that they want. He's like low key. You could go back to all the comments.
That's back in what, 2019, 2018?
Yeah, people like you don't know what you're talking about. It's never gonna happen, and boom, exactly what happened.
Yeah. They want that low-key person that has all the correct answers, when the media's asking them something. And, well, I don't know. Toney, I love Toney. I love the way that Toney deals with the media because we get a lot of memes out of it. I don't know if you guys remember that face that he made when they asked him a stupid question. He's always side-eyeing them. He said medium some clowns. Yeah, like I like it, but that's because I guess it's a younger generation thing maybe. But I like the way he was able to back it up. Yeah.
I like it too, but I don't know if he's a good football player. Well, at least in the NFL.
Well, you know what? I don't necessarily agree, but I don't necessarily disagree. I just feel like we got to see if he's healthy, what happens. If he can't stay healthy, then it's like, it's almost, who's a player that we've had that showed flashes for literally 2 games and then like couldn't stay healthy anymore? I don't know if there's
Daniel
anybody
Jones.
like that. Yeah, I mean,
It's probably true.
yeah. Let me get the next guy on here. It's CJ. What's up, man? How you doing?
Long time no see.
What's good?
What's up, bro?
Kush, are you behaving?
What does that mean?
If you're not pimping, you're simping.
Okay. And now I feel old because I'm not sure. I'm not even that much older than you, Logan. I don't even know what that means.
Jesus Christ! No, I'm the old fart over here. Me and Marco are the old heads over here.
But what up, CJ? What you got?
I can't believe this is a story already. It's freaking April. I mean, listen, everyone showed up last year. And how did that work out? Nothing.
Facts.
Excuse my language. Who the hell? Listen, I get the optics are not good. That I understand. Okay. And Toney is the type of cat where, he's young. He has his other priorities. He has his other major interests. Wake me up. If this type of thing happens during OTAs or mini camp or training camp, then I'll be concerned. But until then, it's April. And I'm not even gonna get into the whole thing like, well, he's not, building a connection with the new system. I'm like, guys, it's April. First of all, what system is Brian Dable is going to start in April? Most of these players usually don't have their playbook or their roles down till after the draft. So I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's a bunch of nothing as of right now. It's voluntary. Why? And again, even if there was a slight worry, everyone showed up last year, and it did nothing. So we're gonna kill him because he hasn't shown up for voluntary minicamp. And I mean, as soon as I heard that he wasn't there, I'm like, well, I know somebody is going to make a big deal out of it. But common smart folk are going to be like, okay, and as I said, it's voluntary. It's freaking April. Yes, what I'd like to see Toney be there, sure. Am I really going to make a big fuss or a big deal about it? Absolutely not. Wake me up when this one. Wake me up come training camp or OTAs, and then it may be an issue. But until then, RELAX. Relax. Tony's going to be fine.
It was a great usage of the Aaron Rodgers quote there, but I'll just say, please never quote Karen Frogers on this channel again. All right,
I've never heard that one before.
I do not
Karen
like that man, bro.
Frogers.
He's a fraud to me. He's a choke artist, and we'll see what happens this year if he does anything.
I already spoke my piece to Logan and a bunch of my boys anyway. At this point, I'm seriously rooting for the Lions and Kirk Cousins to win that division.
I have the Lions making the playoffs next year.
I can't stand Aaron Rodgers after the hell he put Green Bay through.
That man has Green Bay. That's a completely different topic, but he has Green Bay in like the most notorious of chokeholds for like the past 2 years.
Can I use some foul language on your channel? Cause
go ahead, man.
He has the Packers by the fucking balls at this
He
point.
does.
Like Jordan Love is a bust. There's no high profile quarterback for the Packers to acquire. Aaron Rodgers knows that he has Green Bay by the balls. And there's nothing they can do about it. If Jordan Love was a B+ quarterback, the Packers would have ripped the Band-Aid off him, but they know he's a bust and they can't move on from him. So
I see you nodding your head over there, Marco. You got anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. Like, it's weird.
has
Like,
him-
it's go
He
ahead.
has him by the balls and he has him by the wallet.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to completely derail the show. At least right now, we could definitely get into it a little bit later. But it's like I used to love Aaron Rodgers so much, man. He was the man to me, just literally a couple years ago. But ever since he started pulling the basically sitting out without, sitting out in the offseason type of stuff, trying to get new contracts and whatnot. And, then he started saying, oh, I got no help. But I'm like, you won MVP with no help then, bro? Like, what are we talking about? You led the league in passing yards with no help? Like, are we going to really entertain that topic right now, bro? And then it's like, yo, how many times did he choke in the NFC champion? It was twice in a row, right? I don't blame 2016 on him, but I definitely blame like the past 2 times. I'm like, that's all you, bro. You unmuted
Yeah, I'm an
there,
Aaron
man.
Rodgers supporter, so I'll just say I'll stay quiet here.
Oh, you're a supporter of Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
then, man.
that dude. Regardless, I get it, but regardless, he's still an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
And
you're not
I
gonna
mean,
do
at the end of the day, I get it. Yes, he should have more Super Bowls, but so should Brett Favre if we're gonna go into that. And he did like way more drama bull crap in the offseason than Aaron Rodgers did.
Mhm.
And I get and if we're gonna be talking about diva quarterbacks, the whole fugaze of Tom Brady, what he did in the offseason and retiring and coming back 40 days later, that was the biggest hogwash I've ever
Listen,
seen.
bro,
since
that's
Dave
all
Gettleman.
on Adam Schefter, all right? Let's keep it real. That's Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter he hasn't been that guy this
Don't
offseason, man.
speak of that man. Do not speak of that man.
He's been having a very weird offseason, man. I don't know.
It's been rough.
It's been rough for
go,
Adam
rough go.
Schefter.
Yeah.
They canceled Schefter just like Chappelle, bro.
Did Chappelle really get canceled? I'm still a fan of Dave Chappelle. Let's not
I'm
get
a
into
huge
that.
fan. I'm a huge fan of Chappelle.
So there was a comment here.
Uncancelable.
There was a comment here I wanted to bring up because and Peter, I don't want anybody kind of giving hate to Peter. He's allowed to have a different opinion, 1. And then 2, thank you to my mods for taking care of the dude named Big Man on campus. He was being hella sexist in the comment section just now. Guys, if he comes back, just continue to time it out. We don't tolerate that over here. But Peter's comment that I want to say is, this is what he said. He said, missing shoe, COVID, injuries. Toney punted away his rookie season, if you ask me. And what I have to ask you, Peter, is those 3 things you listed, how are any of those on him? A missing shoe, the equipment guy, COVID, I don't think you choose to get it. And
It's his
injuries
fault.
also,
It's
I don't
his
think you choose to get it. That's my only response to that. I don't
mean,
know.
Toney,
Was the shoe his fault?
the reason Toney broke his thumb, he took a hammer and he just decided to chop his thumb off. It's
Right.
his fault, bro.
Now the shoe was the equipment guy, man. That was embarrassing.
Nah, I'm telling you, he saw Jason Garrett's playbook and was like, to hell with this. I'm just gonna
Exactly.
spite myself.
Yeah, I respect everyone's opinion, but yeah, him getting COVID is not his fault. His shoes, I don't know, but and the injuries, I mean, I don't think a player, if he balls, then this will be a moot point.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you, I'm sorry to cut off, but even if he has another subpar year, I guarantee nobody's going to say, well, you should have been at spring at the voluntary mini camps. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
He's not last year.
Yeah, like people don't even believe in Daniel Jones. So like, why? So what if unless Kadarius Toney is going to be, Stephon Diggs, then what can he really do for Daniel Jones?
Mm-hmm. CJ, what you got for us? Any other question or topic or draft thing that you want to ask us?
Yeah, I've been wanting to run this by. I talked to Logan about this a while ago. I wanted to bring this on as far as the chat goes. The more and more I look at this, the more and more I look at the top 5 in particular. I really feel as though we're either going to get our combination edge rusher as well as offensive tackle in either order, or we're going to wind up with a tackle with our first pick. With a tackle with one of our picks and a corner and our second pick. I'm gonna bring this scenario out to you guys, because the scenario that I have, if we were to go say tackle and edge rusher, to me it's either going to be Aquanu and Neal at 5, and then Jermaine Johnson at 7. Would you rather have that? Would you rather have that combination, or would you rather have, let's just say, the best available tackle at one of those picks, and Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley at 5 or 7? Which scenario would you rather go with? And if you are going with tackle and corner with our first 2 picks, favorite edge rusher in round 2.
Let me start with Logan, since you just got back here, bro. Then we'll go Marco and then Manny.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spoil my first 2 picks for my final mock. As of right now, I have Thibodeau falling to 5, and I have the Giants going Cross at 7. But if that doesn't happen, you asked favorite edge rusher in the second. My favorite edge rusher in the second round would probably be David Ajabo, because he just tore his Achilles, so he's probably going to fall to 36. Boye Mafe from, I believe, Minnesota is pretty good. He just has to work on his rip move. But if Thibodeau doesn't fall to 5, my ideal pairing would be Cross and Sauce.
Crisscross applesauce.
Yep.
You just got me hungry.
Yeah, would it be a sin if they take 2 defensive players, if they go Thibodeau and Sauce?
I'd like it.
Would it be a sin?
I'll jump. I can.
Yeah, go ahead. Jump in there.
I'll say, especially if they trade James Bradberry, that's attacking 2 big needs with edge and cornerback. And I get we want one of those top tackles, but this is a deep class, and and it's not Dave Gettleman drafting, so I trust the front office with being able to find some guys that can produce.
You bring up a great point there with not being Dave Gettleman, but what I gotta say to that is, if it's those specific 2 players, Marco, Kayvon Thibodeau, a guy that was considered the number 1 overall pick at one point, and Ahmad Sauce Gardner, a guy that's considered the best cornerback in the class, I don't think you could be angry at that. But I definitely am worried. I'm like, all right, who in the second round are they going for tackle then? Like, who are they targeting? Is it going to be a guy in Abraham Lucas? I personally, I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't like Bernard Raymond that much. Are they hoping a guy like Trevor Penning drops, who I'm not as big as a fan of Trevor Penning as most of Giants Twitter is. A lot of Giants Twitter loves the guy, but I look at him and I honestly see like a walking penalty every single play. I'm not going to lie to you. And so it's like I am wondering, you know what I mean?
I think one guy we could talk about in a second is Daniel Fa'alele from Minnesota.
You brought him up. Was it last stream, or was it when I was on your stream that you brought him up?
I want to bring that man up because he's
a big human being.
He's a monster.
It's a very big human being.
I think if you add those 2, honestly, you take your defense from going to be good to being very good.
What it comes down to, Marco, is, and I've had this conversation so much, is it all comes down to the philosophy and priority of Wink Martindale, right? Because we know, and he said, and I've had Ravens fans and Ravens content creator come on that's kind of backed it up, where it's like he's 100% a guy that prefers, putting the secondary high and like drafting a secondary player high versus taking an edge. Now, of course, when you got a player like Kayvon who's supposed to be one of these, to use Dave Gettleman's term, a gold jacket player, maybe that changes your view on things and you take him, right? And then to add on to what Manny was saying, you don't have Gettleman back there. At that point, I'm putting a lot of my fate into Brandon Brown, our assistant GM that we got from the Eagles, because that man found Jeremiah Lott in like, what was it, the 7th round or undrafted or something like that. So I'm definitely hoping he could find us the right tackle. 6th round pick? Okay, I bet.
Just to stir up the pot, how would you guys feel about Thibodeau and Lloyd?
Like at 5 and 7? Devin Lloyd at 7?
I think Devin Lloyd is a top 10 pick. I think he's a top 10 prospect.
I would like that. I'd like that because then that gives us assurance for Blake Martinez if he ends up not re-signing after this year, and then we still get our edge. I think that would help.
What if it's Thibodeau and Hamilton?
I'm not a Hamilton guy. I'm not.
I literally
think
made a
it's
video
just-
today talking about why the Giants shouldn't make a safety. I feel like shouldn't draft a safety. I feel like that answers your question.
Wait, should not?
Yeah.
I think it's
Because-
tough just because of
Go
I
ahead.
think it's tough because we already have Xavier McKinney back there, so you don't want to take a guy who's pretty much gonna be that same free safety.
Here's the thing, Mike. Mike says, "Oh my God, Nakobe Dean is better." Nakobe Dean is a better pure linebacker, but the Giant, like Nakobe Dean, we already have a guy like him in Blake Martinez, who's a downfield tackler. We need a coverage linebacker, and Devin White is by far better than Nakobe Dean in coverage. So
Yeah.
I'll say this with the safety thing just to keep it short. My explanation of why I don't want to draft the safety at least this year is because like one, I'm like, all right, we got priorities that I feel like we got to put ahead of the safety position, like the edge, like corner, like linebacker. You know, even I think defensive tackle we should be taking with one of these mid-round picks as well. But then also I'm like, I'm trying to think back on it. I'm like, there's only one defense that pops into mind when I think about having 2-star safeties, and that's like the Legion of Boom. You don't necessarily need 2-star safeties to have a great defense, and even to have a good defense that's based on the secondary, right? Like Wink, who just came from the Ravens, they had 2 really good safeties, but they weren't 2-star safeties. It was more so on the cornerback play and having like star cornerbacks there, and even same thing with like the Bills. So that's kind of why I'm just like, you know what? Let's put it off for now.
So just to throw it back at you right now, 2 questions. Right now, are you a fan of overdrafting a position? And 2, who do you think is better right now, Hamilton or McKinney?
So overdrafting a position, you mean that as just a general question across all positions?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's tough. I don't know. Because you know why? Because I guess I am a subscriber to the positional value theory at least a little bit. Like, I definitely think, for example, an edge has more impact on the game than a safety. So I wouldn't have a problem with overdrafting an edge or overdrafting an offensive tackle. But I would have a problem with overdrafting a safety just because I know they impact the game less, or they have less of, you know, an impact of what's going to happen during the game. I don't know how to answer that question, I'll be honest with you. And then what was the second one?
Who do you think is better, McKinney or Hamilton?
I'm going to go with McKinney, bro. I'm a big Xavier McKinney
Right
fan.
now or just coming out?
Right now.
Right now.
I gotta go with McKinney just because he's a pro.
You seen him do it? Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't take away that I think Hamilton has a bigger ceiling.
Oh, for sure.
you know what this reminds me of? I know it's a completely different side of the ball, but this reminds me of last year when people were debating if you could take Kyle Pitts in the top 10.
Yeah, but at least with Pitts, and this is just coming from my point of view. Pitts was just such like a different breed of a quote unquote tight end. To me, he fits more of that big wide receiver type of player than your almost your hybrid tight end. Because to me, the way I look at it is like over the last 10 years, I would consider that there are about 5 or 6 positions that I would say are elite premier positions. Obviously, quarterback, corner, pass rusher, edge or interior, wide receiver, tackle, did I say corner?
Yes.
And maybe linebacker, because those positions to me are not only like game changing, build your football foundation around. Those are also probably the 5 or 6 most premier positions in terms of highest salary. So again, as much as I love Hamilton the prospect, honestly he's probably my number 3 player on the board. But like you said, like to me, safety is just not that premier of a position. So I would have to take a strong pause on drafting. Now at 7, all bets are off, but at 5, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Now, CJ, thank you for popping on, bro. I'm gonna have to get you off because we got a little bit of a line here for the callers, man. Have a good one, bro.
It's always a pleasure, Coach. Stay off the turkey after midnight.
For sure, man. Have a good peace.
Whoa.
Was that a reference to like smoking, or was he actually talking about like turkey? You know how
No,
to
that
say
was
you
a
go to.
reference. That was a reference to something that I'm not allowed to say on your stream.
Oh, you see, I'm way behind with whatever references you guys are making, man. Making me feel
It's not
old.
just you, Kush. That flew by my head too.
Yeah, okay then, cool. As long as I'm not alone. Just to check in with you guys, we're about halfway through. Are you guys good to go for the entire stream, or do you need to pop out anytime soon?
I'll probably be off in about 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay. Marco,
Yeah.
what about you?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna jump off in a little.
Okay then. So with that being said, let me pop on Tonio, the other half of the Breaking Tackles podcast, who I'm assuming will be available for the rest of the stream. And then let's get the next guest on here, which is BPS, then Jake, then Mike. BPS, by the way, guys, is an Eagles fan. Excuse his allegiance, but he's a good dude. I know that's hard to believe.
He's
He's
a
a good
Detroit
dude,
fan.
though.
What's
He's
good?
a Detroit fan.
Let's go, Birds.
How you doing, man?
What's up, Kush? What up, man? It's been a minute.
It has been a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah, good to see you.
Is it though? Because what has been going on in Eagles land, man? Are you guys finally gonna draft a linebacker, or are you gonna ignore it again?
They're gonna ignore it again.
I'm thinking that would be Dean. I'm thinking it would be Dean. The way I would think, it's got to be Dean. Like that's like the pick right there for a linebacker.
Mm-hmm. How'd you feel about the trade that you guys made with the Saints?
Good price range. I think the Saints kind of. I wouldn't say they over like loaded. I just feel like they did a little too much in this trade. I think we won the trade. I didn't think we completely won, but I felt like it was a good like just fair value for both teams, and it helps us out in the future just to see if Hurts is the guy next year.
And now let me ask you something. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna ask a question I definitely want your answer on, but I'm gonna go to the Giants fans first. You know what I'm saying? The better people on the stream first. Through that trade, all right. I'm sorry, it just looks to me like the Eagles don't believe in Jalen Hurts, bro. They're setting up for a trade up next year to get their quarterback. All right. It looks to me like they're setting up next year to potentially trade up for whoever's gonna be the top pick. Let me start off with Tonio since he was shaking his head. I'm guessing we got a little bit of disagreement here. Then Marco, then Logan, then Manny.
No, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, it's smart business to, regardless of the fact they're just keep getting ammo, and you can't. I mean, having 3 first-round draft picks, that's a lot of money tied up in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, regardless whether it works or not, it's just a smart move to move one of those picks to the next year. And if Jalen Hurts works, great. We're going to just keep giving Jalen Hurts more weapons, which absolutely I think he needs. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think Jalen Hurts is going to work just fine. But if it doesn't work, at the end of the day, it's a business. It's nothing personal. So we're also locked in to be able to draft a quarterback next year. We're able to move up and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I completely agree with you.
BPS, I didn't say you could speak yet, bro. Go ahead, Marco.
Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
Seeing them
treatment Eagles fans get.
Seeing them load up for another year, having 2 number 1 picks next year is not something I want to see. So it's a business move that they had to make, which is smart to do.
They don't draft well, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
what
that's a
happened
good
to
thing for
Andre?
us.
Remember their first round pick a couple years ago? Andre Dillard, bro. What happened to that man, BPS?
I don't know who that is. I forgot all about him. I don't remember him.
The boy Jordan beat him out.
Yeah.
BPS, is Rager done with y'all? You guys don't want nothing to do with Rager anymore?
I'm good. I don't want that guy. He can't, bro.
Really?
No, if you can't get off of press coverage, you're not a receiver, and that's why I don't think he should play receiver. I think he's more a running back and not a receiver.
Okay, we could get back to that in a second, but Logan, smart decision by the Eagles, or do they not believe in Hurts? I think Logan might be gone. Manny, what about you?
I think they puts him in a. I think a part of them probably maybe still believes in Hurts, but also like they're like kind of like the Giants. The Giants wanted to trade back to get a pick next year, so that if Damon Jones isn't the guy, they can go and get there. So I think the Eagles are just kind of working off of let's just keep ourselves ready just in case.
Mm-hmm. You were about to say something there, Tonio?
Yeah, and I love what Manny said, and he said this previously in one of our podcasts. He said that, our owner made it clear that
I'm
Jones is the
guessing we lost Manny there, actually, just not maybe some type of internet issue, but go ahead.
he said Jones is the guy. Well, we also brought a backup who's more than capable to win the starting position. So, what Manny was kind of saying is Shane said, Jones is the guy, but we are gonna bring him some competition to see if he really is the guy. Just because he's the guy doesn't mean that we can't, put him in a battle. And I feel like this is the same thing. It's always dumb. Like I never understood why Joe Judge always was so obsessed saying, "Oh, Daniel Jones is a starter," and there was like no competition for him at any point. I think that's a great mistake that you make. You always should have competition, unless you have obviously one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah. And then, what did you think about the bringing in of Tyrod Taylor, Marco? Any type of strong feelings about it, or are you just like, okay, we finally got a good backup quarterback?
It's a bridge quarterback, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If Jones isn't it this year, it's not going to be Tyrod Taylor next year, and they're going to be looking for a quarterback. You either need Daniel Jones to really suck or to bowl out. If it's anywhere in the middle, then we're going to be in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
BPS, do you have any questions for us Giants fans, man, or any topic we want to talk about, even if it's Eagles related? Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, I gotta ask you. Now this is more draft related. Who do you think is the top 5 prospects in the draft? Because I gotta prick your brain in that area. Because I haven't heard too much about the draft from you.
Like in order?
Yeah, just top 5, anyone. Like throw names.
I'm okay. I guess I'll throw names, but I don't think you'd be surprised. I feel like almost everybody's top 5 is the same top 5 list. I want to say,
except for those clowns that have Trayvon Walker.
Listen, at this point, like I've said it before, I want Trayvon to go top 5, so somebody else drops to us. That's what I've been saying.
I want him to go top 5, but not to the Giants, please.
Please, not to the Giants. Listen, all right. So Akeem, Evan, Aiden, Kayvon, and Kyle Hamilton. There you go. That's probably my top 5 in the draft.
I can see that.
My top 5 from 1 to 5 would probably be Thibodeau is my number 1, Hamilton number 2, Aquanu number 3, Evan 4, and Hutchinson 5.
But Marco, I know you say you're not too much of a big draft person, but do you have a top 5?
Yeah. Just listening to you guys saying Hamilton was both in your top 5s, but yet you wouldn't take him at 7.
Yeah,
right, exactly, guys.
Like I said, safety is not something I'm drafting top 10, man. Just like I was saying, and I've been steadfast and very consistent with this back in January, where I'm like, Tyler Linderbaum might be a top 10 player to draft. I'm not taking him with the 7th overall pick. I'm not taking a
Linderbaum
center.
fell off the face of the earth.
He fell off the face of the earth because the NFL doesn't value. But he also doesn't. The NFL just doesn't value centers like that, right? We could bring up as many examples as we want to, but I'm not taking a center top 10. Just like I'm not taking a safety top 10. You could find him elsewhere.
Yeah, Hamilton's slipping too. Like I seen him.
Yeah,
go,
remember when Hamilton was legitimately going top 5 in mock drafts? Now he's going in like the 20s.
Yeah, he went. I think he had a meeting today with the Steelers too. So if he falls that far now, we got a problem there.
Your top 5 though, Marco?
Probably not in the specific order, but I would have Thibodeau up there in top 5, Aquano in top 5, Hutchinson, Sauce, Neal.
Oh, you'd have Sauce. Okay, I think that's the first time I heard somebody say Sauce in the top 5.
Yeah, he's up there, in my opinion. I think he's going to be a good corner. But, I fall in love with corners and they all wind up sucking. So maybe not taking my opinion on that one too high.
And then Toney?
In terms of like skills, who knows? But in terms of like who I think is going to be in that top 5 in terms of picks, it's going to be Hutchinson, Neal, Gardner, Aquanu, and what am I missing? Kayvon. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Let me just give a quick shout out to somebody I haven't seen in a minute. It's OGR. If you guys remember OGR Sports, man, what up, man? How you doing? Then we got Vibes, Eli Rax on Twitter, and also with New York Revival and Nate. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Thank you for tuning in. Go ahead there, BPS.
I'm a big fan of Stingley. I think as a just raw cornerback. And Logan, as soon as he shakes his head,
He's been bugging me about this shit all week.
What,
yeah,
Stingley?
He's been
dog,
saying Stingley's
he's the
better in
best
man than
man-to-man
Sauce.
corner in the class. I'm sorry, like he's
Listen,
better.
bro, if we could have
He's
2019 Stingley consistently without injuries, you know what? I'll be with you. Wait, we haven't seen 2019 Stingley since 2019.
True. And I seen this last year with Farley and Horn. I thought that Farley was the best cornerback last year when he was
And then
healthy. But
when he had that second back surgery, man, everybody knew.
right,
Everybody just knew, oh, he's dropping, and did he drop?
Then he tore his ACL in mid-season, so it's done
bro,
for him, bro.
Stingley, the guy's man-to-man skills, though. You cannot even deny that. It's very good. Like that dude went on a double move on Devontae Smith, was there the entire route. And he locked up Chase and Jefferson.
He
for
was
the better part of practice every
He
week.
was like probably the only corner that like successfully locked up Devontae Smith in college. I think I could say. But like I said, man, he's been injured and he hasn't had that level of success in 3 years. So I think with good reason, probably people have Sauce ahead of him right now in terms of recency, at least. Any thoughts on that, Marco or Tonio?
Mark, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I'm gonna jump out, guys.
Oh, for sure. Well, real quick then, man. Guys, I want you all to check out the Bleed Blue podcast if you haven't already. Like I said, he's been, and, you know, the guys over there have been on YouTube for a while now. They do something great, and you're definitely looking forward to their list of shame during the regular season. But have a good one, man, and thank you for popping in.
Thanks for having me. Peace out, everyone.
Peace.
Yeah, have a good one.
Antonio, what about you?
Yeah, honestly, all I'm gonna say is, listen, if he drops because of obviously his production in college and the injury to Liz Frank, hopefully whoever gets him, as long as it's not Eagles, whoever gets him, hey, good luck, man. I mean, it's definitely a high risk, high reward type of player. So, I mean, if you got the balls, go ahead and do it. I don't think the Giants, since this is a Giants type of podcast, I don't think they're in a position. They have there's no way in shape form that the Giants can pick this guy. They had to play it relatively safe with those picks in the top. But the Eagles got 2 picks, man, and they're mid rounds. Like I would, if he's there, I would absolutely take him. Like I what do you got to lose, yo? To be honest,
I don't think he's gonna fall that far. I think Minnesota takes him, but if he's there, I'm taking him. That's not even a question.
Now, Manny says something in the chat now that he's back in here that he definitely got to back up a little bit. He says he believes Sauce is the best player in the draft.
Whoa. Yeah, this is my top. This is my top 5. I'll give you guys my top 5 right now. And this is my opinion. I'm not an expert, but it's just my opinion, and just from what I've been able, from tape I've watched with my boy Antonio. ¿Cómo estás, hermano? So I'll go Sauce number 1, Icky 2, Kayvon 3, Neal 4, Hutchinson 5.
But can you explain to us exactly why
So
you
the
have
reason
Sauce
why
as the
I
number
think
1?
I just feel like Sauce is just that stat that he hasn't given up a touchdown in college. That's impressive. His how he's played, how his size, his length, being able to play press man at an elite level, not just against, you know, whoever he plays in that American Conference. It's also when he played against Notre Dame, he blanketed the wide receiver. When they played against, you know, Memphis, that has come out and bring good weapons as well, you know, recently blanketed them. Alabama blanketed them. You know, I think he just has that elite skill. And of all the players, like, people can say, yeah, maybe people's preferences are Hutchinson, Kayvon, or people's preferences are, you know, Ikeem or Neal. I think the masses will probably say, you know, Sauce is the best cornerback in this class, and I think he's probably the best defensive back in this class, you know, safety or cornerback. So that's why I take him 1 over. That's why I'll take him 1. The only thing is this, obviously, I don't think a lot of teams prioritize cornerback as much, especially, you know, like in the top 2 or 3, unless they're that dude. I could see a team like the Texans or the Jets, especially the Jets. I can see those teams drafting Sauce. And I think it's just more of just a matter of like the top 5. What are they looking for? You know, the top tackles, the top edges. Those are usually taking precedent over cornerback.
Just to
Mhm.
add on
Yeah,
to
I
what
gotta
Manny
just say
said too.
this.
Go ahead, BPS.
Nah, I was just gonna say this. The only thing that I have concerns with Sauce, and I think it's gonna definitely change in the NFL, is like he gets confused by some routes and some formations. And I've seen it a lot on tape. Like his confusion on like certain like routes might just be because he hasn't faced a lot of like coverages and he's more press zone and sometimes man. But I think Sauce, like the length, the size, speed, I think he's got it. And the range that gives him a lot of credibility. So I think that'll change for sure in the NFL.
Now,
One thing that I was
oh, go ahead.
The one thing I would say, I'm not as ballsy as Manny Man as my co-host, but listen, it is what it is. If you could get somebody that could shut down 1/3 of the field for you, and you only have 2/3 of the field to worry about, it is a big deal. And there was no, if you check Sauce's videos, no type of long route, no 9 post, anything. Does it like there was nothing that was vertically. He wasn't on top of the guy. Like there's not. I didn't see any video of there was even if it was a double move from a double move. Like his recovery was insane. So and the kid is only gonna get better in the NFL. So listen, it's not far fetched to believe that. To be honest.
So I'm say this BPS. I'm pop you out here. Let me get your last thought, and then I gotta get Jake. We got 3 guests left to pop on. Jake, Mike, and then Jaden.
Yeah, appreciate you for having me on, man. Great talking to you. As always, go Birds. Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one, man.
Hope the
Peace.
Eagles stink.
You're a Lions fan.
Oh yeah, BPS never wears green. I forgot to mention that since Manny. I don't know if Manny and Tony have seen him on here before. He never ever, anytime his camera's on, has ever had on green. So I think he's a fake Eagles fan.
He's only ever been an Eagles fan after Darius Slay went there. He's never been an Eagles fan before that.
Yeah, man. So I don't know. It's very fishy.
So he's like the LeBron fan.
Yeah.
But who chooses Darius Slay? Like, who does that?
Darius Slay, bro. I'll take Dadori over him. I'm playing.
Jake, what's up, man? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's good?
What's good?
Yeah, so to touch on Gardner, so we've seen Stingley's upside in 2019, and like I don't think he can get any better than that. So the fact that we haven't seen Gardner's potential is just that's why I want him over. And Gardner also has, I would say, the lower 4. So I don't know if Gardner will get to us, but if he does, I think I would maybe even pick him over Thibodeau. Just I just think it's a lockdown corner is more valuable, especially in wing system.
And that's what I was telling Marco earlier, right? It comes down to the philosophy of Wink, what he believes. If he's really on the wave of this guy's gonna be worth way more to me than K Vaughn, then all right, that's what's probably gonna happen. If they're both there, that is.
Yeah, I would take Sauce, even if like there's one tackle left at 5, and it's between tackle or Sauce.
You would risk that tackle getting picked up by Carolina?
No, I was gonna say I'm about to say some contradictory shit right now. Even though
you can't say he's your number 1
No,
guy.
I can't.
And then
Here's why, Tone. Here's why, Tone. As much as Sauce would be amazing, I'm not gonna buy a Porsche if I don't have a fucking house to park it in front of.
Exactly.
That's it. You need the house first.
Why are you thinking about 1 year though?
I'm not thinking about because I'm thinking about the opportunity for us to be able to get an elite tackle, and we're probably still going to get Sauce.
Get it next year.
But the Panthers aren't going to draft the cornerback. They already drafted a cornerback this year. They're good.
If he's your number 1 guy on your board, you got to get that guy. He fell to you, bro.
He's my number 1 guy on the board, but when it's about what's important. It's about getting the building block on the offensive line, which is a more higher priority for this team. Like as much as we would need a cornerback 1 when James Bradberry gets traded, if he gets traded, we don't have a right tackle at all right now. So that's a bigger need right there.
I mean, it's no surprise to you guys, but for me, like if it's a choice between one of the tackles and Sauce, I'm going to tackle. And then,
easily,
I'm hoping that Sauce is there. We'll see what happens. Because my thing is with Carolina, is that you could probably take either one of them and the other one would still be available. Carolina is so interesting to me right now. I could see them I could see
With
them going tackle, but I could also very much see them going
McAdoo
quarterback. Yeah, like I mean, forget the Ben McAdoo thing. Even before that quote, you know, a lot of people were kind of getting that idea out there that Matt Rule might just do something that quote unquote saves his job at least for another year and take a quarterback. So it's been out there for a minute.
Willis going there.
So you think the Lions will pass on him?
Yeah, I think especially if Trayvon Walker goes 1, I don't think the Lions can pass Aiden Hutchinson going there. It's going to help them in gas and travel fare and whatnot. So they might as well. So, and that's a need as well. Like the Lions could use that edge rush as well.
Let me get this super chat. Shout out to Danny Thomas for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. He says, Hub, I would target a safety in the 3rd round. I would draft Jalen Petre. What safety would I draft day 2? Very glad you mentioned that. In my safety video today, where it's titled, Should the Giants Draft a Safety? Jalen Petre is a guy listed for the 3rd round, so I'm right there with you, bro. Jalen Petre, Jaquan Brisker if he drafts. If the Giants are looking towards safety and they're looking towards the 3rd, I think those are 2 guys that could potentially be there. For the 2nd, I'm thinking Dax Hill and Lewis Seen, but I really don't want to do 2nd. I'll be more comfortable if, you know, we go 3rd round, we take a safety there. I'm right there with you. What about you guys? Do you have any 3rd round safeties in mind?
Not that I know of.
I think I like they're not 3rd rounders, they're more like 4th rounders, but JT Woods from Baylor, Dane Benton from Iowa. What I like from Dane Benton is that he's like a strong safety, which I think is more of a need, is a strong safety. And he's a guy who's been able to play coverage, play against the run. He didn't look like that fast on tape, but he ran a 4.5, a 4.40 in the combine. So he at least showed that athleticism. So I think he'd be a nice pickup.
I'm a big Smoke Monday fan.
Smoke, I would say, I don't know, unless he climbed up, is probably also like a 4th round guy, right?
Yeah, he's a 4th round guy.
Yeah. I also love his name.
Yeah, I've seen the name Kirby Joseph pop up from Illinois. I don't know, he might be there in the 3rd round.
Anybody from you, Tonio, in day 2?
Nope.
Cool.
That's way too deep for me. That's way too deep for me.
Nah, understandable. Jake, what else you got for us, man?
So I was seeing these trade rumors between like Debo and Kyler. I was wondering if you guys would trade for either one of them, because I know we have the draft picks and I know we'd maybe be able to sign them in the future. But
all right,
I just wanted your opinion on that.
No.
First, I gotta ask: does anybody actually think realistically the 49ers are going to trade away Deebo Samuel?
No.
Nah, they probably won't. But
I don't think
they
so.
would for first.
Nah. He's probably. I would argue this. He's probably their most valuable player, bro.
He absolutely is. I mean,
Yeah.
they give it. What if they give you like an overhaul, like Tyreek Hill type of stuff?
How many picks did Tyreek Hill get?
Let me.
Oh, actually, no. You know what,
3 or 7.
Tonio? I would say no to even that, because the reason the Chiefs are comfortable with trading away Tyreek is because they have Mahomes.
Right.
The 49ers got Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right. But but that's a even better point. Do you really think that Trey Lance is gonna take you to another level, which will be Super Bowl at this point? If you have
that's why you keep Debo. Like, Debo's his guy. Debo would be his best bet.
I think I would be okay. I think I would play it safe, and I would just say, yo, let me sell Debo Samuel right now, because I don't know what I have.
But here's my question, though, right? My question originally still hasn't been answered yet. Why would they trade Debo Samuel? The man's been nothing but a success for them. And
but they're not going nowhere.
Do you really believe that?
I don't think there's any way they get back to.
So do you think they should just blow it up? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so that's because that's bigger than Debo. That we're talking about basically every player they got now.
Right. I'm bringing now a quarterback who I don't know what I'm gonna get from him. Like, I love everything about him, his arm, his legs, but I don't know if he can still play football. So why not get rid of a wide receiver, which I could draft a wide receiver, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
so here's my thing, right? We don't know how good Trey Lance is, but they gave up 3 first-round picks to get him just last year. So they definitely see something in him. We'll say that, right? Like, you don't give up 3 straight first-round picks to take that quarterback. Well, so
that's a big reason why I don't think they would even let homie go, because for a guy who hasn't really played any football at all in the league, and you drafted him and you gave him that much, why would you take away his number 1 target, not just as a wide receiver, but just as a weapon?
That's a Dave Gettleman move.
Yep.
I mean, they still got Kittle, so It's kind of
He's
like the
injured,
Chiefs still
though.
have.
No,
Yeah,
Kittle is great. Kittle is great. Let's not get it
Kittle's
twisted.
still a number one target.
Yeah, let's not get it twisted. Kittle's great, but I think Debo is like right there with him in terms of who is the
fact that they
target in
gave
the
him
offense.
Just running back. The fact that they gave him just running back runs and had him playing pretty much in the backfield, like that's so valuable for an offense.
And then your second question was Kyler Murray. I don't
Yeah.
think we're trading for Kyler Murray. I don't think so. I don't know, man.
I don't want to trade for him, but I mean, you know, his
It was an
popping up.
idea
I
that
saw
was
a Bad
thrown
Bunny
out there
video
for
on
sure.
that too.
I don't.
I would
Okay,
love-
so I'll
I'd
kind of
love-
answer two questions. I don't think we're trading for him, and I don't think the Cardinals will trade him either. I really just think he's just trying to get more money, and that they're gonna give him more money. What about you guys? But
Yeah, no, I think he just wants that big contract.
Yeah, agreed. He wants the contract.
He just wants the bag.
now the question is, do you guys think he deserves it? Because I'm like, Kyler, you haven't
No.
done anything
It's
for me
tough,
to like.
but
It's like,
It's
and
tough.
this kind of goes with everything. I'm sorry to interrupt you, man. I'm gonna let you go right after. It goes with almost every player today, where I'm like, now you're seeing guys demanding certain types of money when they haven't necessarily proved themselves to be worthy of that money. And then the worst part is some teams enable it because you got a contract like Christian Kirk that exists for wide receivers, right?
My
But go
God.
ahead, Manny.
no, I mean, it's tough because they hired the coach to coach this quarterback, you know. So it like if they don't have a plan long term for Kyler Murray, then what's your long term plan for the head coach? I don't think they would. I think they would just go and sign him. As far as he deserving it, I mean, 2-time Pro Bowler has shown like that he is, when he's on point, when he's healthy, that he's elite. The only issue is that he's towards the end of the season, he kind of just starts to run out. So it'd be kind of worrisome. It's a good question. I would
about
kind of
you,
lean
Antonio?
towards he probably doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, in terms of deserving it.
I would give him the Dak treatment, to be honest. I would
Mhm.
franchise him. I wouldn't give him the contract. I gotta see him do it at least one more time. And listen, if you do it, I'll pay you. You'll be the highest paid QB.
You know what? I'm with that. And then Logan.
I don't think he deserves it, really. He hasn't really done much in his time there. When he's healthy, he shows flashes. Like you said, he's a 2-time Pro Bowler. But I don't know yet, man. Something's got to change.
He's healthy a lot, man. He doesn't miss that many games, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just like he runs out of gas, to use the phrase that Manny used. It's just the fire that he began the season with wasn't there in the second half of the season, you know? Shout out to Danny Thomas for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, bro. He says, I live in the Green Bay area currently, and a couple days ago, San Fran named Trey Lance as a starting QB. They're looking to trade Jimmy G. Not Green Bay, Bay Area. I'm sorry. They're looking to trade Jimmy G. Jimmy G and Debo are close friends, and Debo requested to be traded. Excuse me? All of this went down and no type of national media covered it? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
Jimmy G got that pull.
None of national media covered? What? I'm not saying I don't believe you, Danny Thomas, but I'm just saying no national media coverage, just only the Bay Area. What do you guys think?
I
about
mean, this might be like, beat reporters dropping the insider, maybe.
But all right, so hey, if that's the case, wow. Debo would request to be traded because Jimmy G, his friend, is not the quarterback. How do you guys feel about that?
That's nuts.
That's kind of nuts, man.
Debo carried that offense last year.
Like
He was just there.
That's kind of crazy to me, because it's like, bro, I get he's your friend, but like you're set up to be one of the most successful receivers in the league right now. You know what I mean?
Or absolutely do nothing next year. He's gonna be the focal point to the extreme next year.
I'll say this though, he's definitely gonna get paid by. San Fran is gonna do everything to keep him in terms of paying him. So it's just like, yeah, man, Manny, let me get you first. What'd you think about that? Requesting to be traded because Jimmy G is not going to be his QB.
I don't believe that. I'll just leave that. I don't believe that.
Okay, Logan.
I don't buy it, man. I can't see it.
I'm just like, it's crazy that would happen. Imagine a couple days from now that story actually breaks on national media. That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Well, you heard it here first.
Heard from Danny Thomas.
Yep.
Jake, you got anything else before I pop out Mike Green, man?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, for this draft, I
Yeah.
just don't see like a bad worst case scenario. Because like if Thibodeau go, Hutchinson goes, and I'm assuming like Nee or Icom goes, that means we still got Gardner. And from what I've heard, we're very high on Cross. So I just don't see like a bad scenario right here.
No, I agree with you. It's gonna be very hard for them to kind of mess up the first 2 picks at least. Everything after that, well, that's where Joe Shane got to make his money.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate you having me on here.
No problem, man. Have a good
All
one.
right. Have a good night, guys.
Next up is Mike Green. Mike, how you doing, man?
Man, fellas, what's going on?
What's going on?
What's
Man,
good?
not much. Yeah, y'all already know the vibes, man. G-Man for life. Y'all know what it is.
I love it.
Hey, you know what? After hearing this podcast, I gotta address something because this really done got on my nerves. Ladies and gentlemen, Giants fans all across the world, as Aaron Rodgers once said, RELAX. Relax. The man got a life.
Yeah.
He got to live at one point. Only reason this is a story because we haven't been winning.
Mm-hmm.
If we were winning 12 games a season, I guarantee this would not even be the top of discussion. But because it's been a total opposite, every move that every player make is a problem if it don't involve the organization. That ain't how football work. You know, they practice, they watch film, they talk to coaches, and they practice with each other. Eventually, you're going to want a break. Like everybody, they got a 9 to 5. If you off on a weekend, you can't wait till Friday evening to clock out. Players have the same mindset. So as long as he ain't missing nothing that's important, we good. We gotta quit acting like we don't like star wide receivers. We did this to OBJ. Now we doing this to KT. Chill out, relax. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be good. I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest because I'm sick of seeing it on my. I'm seeing it on my Twitter feed too because this is ridiculous. This is sad. It's got to that point to where it's sad now.
Now that it is off your chest, though, what you got for us?
If hypothetically speaking, if you were to trade for Debo, because we had the picks for it, who are we getting rid of? If we were to make that move, if we were bold enough to step out like that, who got to
Toney.
go?
Just kidding. I don't.
Nah, I mean, you could
I'll
be.
say
You
no.
could be true.
We can't get rid of K.
It'd probably be a Darius Slayton and
Stop
a
it,
2
Manny.
and a 3.
Nobody in their right mind is trading Darius Slayton
and
and
2 and a
picks
3
for
and then throwing
Debo.
Darius Slayton as like the Happy Meal. There we go.
No, the Happy Meal would be Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I could see that. I think that one's way more realistic. Especially considering how they used Debo last year.
That trade wouldn't even make sense, though. Like the Giants picking up a wide receiver wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any type of scenario with Debo is even happening. This is not a conversation to be had.
Yeah, we're not in a must-win situation or anything like that.
That's true, but the reason why I brought it up because we have an injury history at that position,
So
and Shepard's guaranteed to miss game.
You gotta draft a wide receiver. Like, there's no reason, Mike. There is literally zero reason for the Giants to trade for Debo Samuel.
Honestly, Mike, I'd be worried with Debo because he's had his little injuries as well too. I think he's missed a season as well in his career.
But
yeah, last year he played only 7 games, I think.
Debo Samuel played 7 games last year.
2020.
Yeah,
2 years ago. I'm still thinking that last year's this year.
They're still more healthier than Sterling Shepard.
Well, let me ask you this, Mike Green. Why do you want to trade for Debo Samuel that bad?
A playmaker, somebody you can put all over the field, and you gotta account for him.
Considering what we're gonna give up, you still think it's worth it?
It depends what's the trade. What are they willing to accept?
I think it's gonna be something close to the Tyreek Hill trade because he's arguably one of the best wide receivers in the game right now. especially coming off the season that he just had.
Yep.
So basically, the first 2 picks in the first round, the second round, and possibly both of them thirds too.
And
no?
also future picks.
I think they gave 5
I
picks
mean,
away.
that's it. I mean, I wouldn't do that for that much, but you know, a guy like Randy Moss to be traded for a 4th round pick. So he ain't like we ain't seen crazier stuff in the league.
But we're forgetting at that time Randy Moss was whatchamacallit. Wasn't he
he was washed?
He was not necessarily
washed at
washed.
all.
No, he had that bad season or something
It's
in Oakland,
kind of
right?
it's kind of hard to be
In Oakland,
washed. Who was the quarterback in Oakland?
Let me rephrase that. People thought he was washed, even though he just had one down season. He was not washed at all.
I don't even think it was a wash thing. I think it was that he was being kind of like problematic and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like off the field thing. Yeah, he was being problematic. In addition, like let's add context to this. Let's not act as if Randy Moss was traded for a 4th round pick at the height of his career. Now,
yeah. I mean, he ended up having the best season as a wide receiver the following year.
Yeah, with the Patriots and very, very young Tom Brady.
But my point is, he was disgruntled. He didn't want to be in Oakland no more. And if it's true, the Devo don't want to be in San Francisco, you're not going to keep a player there that's going to be a distraction. So,
well, that is assuming that Devo would be a distraction, though. I mean, we don't know how Devo could very much not want to be there and still go out and ball out and have a good season. Like, the man has given nothing to suggest that he would be a distraction, right? Like, he's been a very good, consummate professional.
Yeah, shout out to Nate.
But when it comes to this paper, though, Kush, that can change things.
I'm sorry, like, in the most respectful way possible, Mike, this is not even a serious topic, bro. Considering trading for Deebo Samuel, man, the Giants.
Hey, I've seen like a few blogs that have brought it up. I'm like, I don't see this happening either, but you know, who knows? I didn't see Tyreek Hill going to Miami, to be quite honest. That just came out of nowhere. To be real, I thought he was going to be a Chief for life. And in the snap of, that's true. That's true. But Mahomes took a pay cut though, because he could have got more than what he got, so they could pay Hill and Kelsey when their deals were up.
When did Mahomes take the pay cut?
You know, when he got that $500 million deal, he set it up to where it can pay others on the team to keep the team together.
That was before a guy named Christian Kirk and his contract happened.
That's still the craziest contract ever. I still don't see how Christian Kirk got that. I don't know what drugs is in Jacksonville, but it's good. It's real good. I can say that.
Florida drugs are the best. I think the big issue though is that if you trade for Deebo, he's going to expect that record-breaking contract that the Giants can't give him right now.
Yeah. So we're coming up on the hour mark here. Mike, let me get another thought or question out you before we get to Jaden.
Draft is next week. If all the premier tackles are gone, will y'all be good with just going both defense?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, bro. At that point, you have no choice, in my opinion, but to go both defense if all 3 tackles are gone. We gonna do overdraft for Trevor Penning? Nah, bro.
Nah,
Garrett Wilson? Nah, bro.
No, we good. We straight. And we can't take a quarterback either.
If all 3 tackles are gone, we probably have some of the best defense players available. There's only 4 teams ahead of us. We're gonna have undoubtedly one of the top 2 edges there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I said it to Toney the other day. We're gonna either get Hutchinson, Sauce, Kayvon, Icky, or Neal. That's a great scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And never on my wildest dreams, I would have thought Hutchinson when he got close to us. But if Trayvon Walker go number 1, I can't see him getting past Detroit at number 2. I just can't see it. Or It's crazy if they take Malik Willis at number 2. He ain't getting past Houston.
You think Malik Willis is going to Houston?
No. If Malik Willis goes to Detroit, Aiden Hutchinson is not going past the Houston Texans because it's like this is JJ Watt all over again, and he cheap. Let's go.
Good point.
So, yeah, he ain't getting out the top 3. The top 2 is really what I'm looking at, but top 3, no way. But we seen crazy things happen in the draft. I never thought we had the opportunity to get Josh Allen, but we all know how that went.
How was Josh Allen doing in Jacksonville anyway? Since he had that injury, as he came
I think
back?
he had like double-digit sacks at one point, and then I think last year he had like 9 sacks.
I remember the injury hit him, and that set him back a little bit.
I think he's been very good. I think he's been playing very well. I can pull up his numbers.
And then the guy across from Chason, does anybody know if he panned out? Kayvon
Not looking
Chason.
great.
Okay, but Mike, thank you for popping in, man. Thank you for the call. Have a good one, bro.
Y'all be blessed, bro. Peace.
Blessed, man. Appreciate you, bro. So looking at Josh Allen's numbers, last year he had 7.5 sacks. In his career, four seasons, he's had 20.5 sacks. Not bad.
But Jaden, what's up, man? It's been a minute.
Yo, it's been a minute. Look, I am the main event of the show, so what's good, everybody?
Well, there is one more caller after you, so I guess.
The co-main. The people's main event.
Hey, yo, I thought I was going to be the main event. It's all good.
People's main event.
Yeah. The people's champ. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man, it's been a long time. No see from everybody. You know, how everybody been up to lately?
We've been good, bro.
Yeah, here's the first thing we're going to be talking about. What's up with the Kadarius Toney and James Bradberry not showing up to the mini camp practice?
It's a non-story.
So, I mean, yeah, I really don't want to rehash it at the end of the show after hashing it out so many times during this show. With Bradberry, completely understandable. That man doesn't even know if he's about to be on the team in like a month. With Toney, we said it a million times. We'd love for him to be here, but he ain't there. It's voluntary. It's whatever.
It's like I wish he'll take this football thing like really serious because he has all the potential. You know, he has like the greatness in him to be really good.
I mean, him not showing up to voluntary minicamp doesn't necessarily mean he's not gonna fulfill it, you know?
Yeah, but like at number 5, who you want the Giants to really draft, depending on who's there.
Hakeem Ekwonu would be my number 1 choice overall if the Giants had anything that could go right for number 5.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Malik Willis.
And then
no.
Logan.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Okay.
Wait. You said Malik Willis?
Yeah.
Okay. Explain, sir, please.
I just want a quarterback. I want a chance at a quarterback that's gonna be elite. We don't have an elite quarterback. That's pretty much it.
Guess what?
We haven't really talked about Daniel Jones on this pod.
Do not, bro. We about to end it.
Okay,
Do not start that up,
We're
man.
we're not doing this right now.
we went almost
I
the
just had to
entire
get that statement
podcast
out
without
there.
doing it, man.
It's like with the number 7th pick, I think I would trade down to like the 14 or 13, whatever. That's what I would personally do because we don't have like that money to sign like those 2 first-round draft picks. So
I'll say this. I would love to trade down as well, but the money thing, I feel like we got to stop perpetuating it as a serious threat because let's keep it real. The Giants are the New York Giants, bro. If they want to take a player at 7 and they say, oh, we don't have money, move the money around somehow and get that player,
Cap
man.
space is a fugazi.
Yeah. The thing is with the cap space, it don't matter because we're going to find a way to get these players anyway. Like how we signed Leonard Williams to the big contract and we was like dead over the cap. We're going to find a way to make it happen. It's like, am I the only one that's not a fan of drafting a corner first? Am I the only one?
Yeah.
So you don't like Sauce?
Or
I mean, I like Sauce and Darius Stanley Jr., but I've never been a fan of drafting a corner in the first round because with us, it never turns out to be good.
I understand. I completely understand where you're coming from, man. Especially like in the past 10 years, every corner we've taken in the first round hasn't necessarily worked out. The best one has been Prince Amukamara, and I don't think he stayed past his rookie contract.
Shit,
So
Aaron Ross, the University of Texas. Let's go.
Yo, but scared money don't make money.
I was about to
So
say,
you gotta
yeah,
have
but it's like
amnesia.
even with that, you can't
Plus, that
veer
was
away
that was
from
that
taking that player.
1979 bullshit regime. You know, with like the old school, old guard of the Giants. You know, like Reese and Gettleman. I mean, that's not. This is like a completely different front office that the Giants have seen since the 70s. So I think that's got to be. I think that's got to be talked about as well.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Jen.
It's like I don't mind drafting the corner, but I want to have faith with this team because it's been years since we haven't done anything. We've been just losing. I hope with the Jones Shane, Wink Martindale, they bring something new to the table and turn this team around. Like within 2 to 3 years, I wouldn't say like this coming season we're not going to be winning games that much. Winning about like 5 to 7 games to be realistic. That's how I could see this season go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as of right now, it's too early for me to say, but I would agree with around that 5 to 7 mark as of right now.
It's like, what y'all think about the Giants schedule coming up? Because the Giants put it out.
They put out their opponents, not the schedule, right?
Yeah, they're not the schedule. They put out the opponents.
Yeah, like, who do y'all see us winning or losing against?
Too early for me to say, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. Like the team isn't even. We haven't even hit like 80-man rosters and stuff yet.
We haven't even drafted players yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give the
free
same
agents.
answer that I gave you for the record thing.
Hey, Jaden, I'm gonna tell you one thing though. If you look at the Giants over under, it's pretty high. Like Vegas has the Giants over under in a weird spot right now. It's like at 8.5 wins, and it's like, why would you have the over and under that high? I bet you the entire country is gonna slam on that under, and I don't like going with what the rest of the country does, man. So that's just something to keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Jen, let me get your last thought here before I pop on Max, and I don't want to go too much over my time, and then we're gonna have Max be the last guest on for tonight.
Yeah, shout out to Max. Everybody sub up to the Hubs channel, Manny's channel, Antonio's channel, Mons and Logan's. Everybody posts good content. Spread love and positivity to everyone. Everybody stay safe. Champ is here, and the champ do plan on return to the Hub show more often.
Hey, I appreciate
Right on,
that,
brother.
champ.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one, bro.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
And Max being the last dude on here, how you doing, man?
Yo, what's going on, guys? What's good, Kush? I don't mean to bring up the Toney point again, but I think that I think Mike was saying it before. Like, he's a kid. Like, we forget that like he's a star NFL player. I mean, a star in the Giants, but like he's still living his life. When you get 2 weeks off of school, most people don't study. Like, there's a select few people that do that. I think that is not as big of a deal as people are making it. And also on the Hamilton point, I don't know if you saw me in the chat before. I don't like him in the top 10. I think maybe in the 20s. He's not a safety. He's supposed to be in the middle of the field. I would say whatever team takes him, if they don't play him at linebacker, they're missing out on a lot of potential. I don't think that he should be lined up in the secondary. I don't think he's a fast guy. I think he makes decent reads, but I think that he'd be much better playing in the middle of the field.
Let me get Manny's thoughts on that, and then Tonio's, then Logan.
I mean, I think he is the best safety in this draft class, which I mean, it's not the best safety class, so it's not saying much. I kind of tend to agree. I don't think he's a top 5 player. I think he's top 10. I honestly, I can't like Cross being drafted. Maybe irk me a bit. Walker being drafted, I would irk me a bit. But Kyle Hamilton being drafted, I think that would probably piss me off more than any other draft pick.
Tonio?
In terms of can he play that free safety role, I think that college tape has shown that he can, and his stats, at least he's running in the same speed a little bit, just a tiny bit faster than McKinney ran in the combine. So if McKinney's doing it and he has a better tape than McKinney, I could only assume that he's also could do it in the NFL. But we don't know. McKinney proved it, and he hasn't. At the linebacker spot, that would be really dope. But then again, I still don't want to see him going to top 10 when you have linebackers that are in this draft that are looking like they're pretty elite themselves. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with what everybody else is saying, man. Safety is just not high in my positional value, so I wouldn't draft a safety or running back that high. And it is what it is.
Logan, is you back or are you not back? Logan is not back, but go ahead, Max. What's your next question?
Tight end position. I want your thoughts on that. Pick your brain about that.
Oh, okay, but I got you. And shout out to Mike B. Mike, first of all, I appreciate you popping in. You just got off work, bro. That's crazy. Definitely catch the replay though. Tight end position. I think the Giants are in the position to get the best tight end available. I think the best tight end available is between Greg Dulcich, who's Diggy has really convinced me of after weeks and weeks of badgering me with it. If you guys remember the amount of times Diggy pops up in the draft chat talking about Greg Dulcich. And then why am I forgetting his name?
Isaiah Likely?
No, not Isaiah Likely. Wow, I'm really blanking on him. That shows
Trey
you how tired I
McBride?
am. Trey McBride. Trey McBride. I think it's those two. But if the Giants don't take those two, you could also get guys like Isaiah Likely. Like I was about to say Jelani. Like this tight end class it's really just it's the oyster. You know the saying, the world is an oyster and like you got to make your pick or something like that. It's that for the Giants in the tight end class, man. Just take whoever you like. We literally have the choice of everybody.
Yo, I would love to get Jelani or the kid from Maryland, yo.
What about you?
I mean, I like Cade Otton from Washington. I like Jake Ferguson from Wisconsin. I like that one tall dude, Arnold, as well. I mean, it's like what you said, Kush. I even like that one dude from Oklahoma who's like an H-back, fullback, and tight end as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jeremiah is his first name. I can't remember his last name. But I think it's a really good tight end class. We're in a good spot that we need a tight end.
And then Logan?
Yeah, I really like all the tight ends in this class, but my favorite personally is probably Likely. I think he has the highest upside of all these guys.
Cool. What about you, Max? Do you have anybody in mind?
Yeah, I also like Likely. I was thinking about, I mean, this is kind of biased. I don't know if you guys have seen Ruckert from Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jeremy Ruckert a lot, just like I like Drake Ferguson. But I will say, Giants fans on Twitter, at least, they've been like loving this man to the point where I've seen people overdrafting him or like reaching on him, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
like I've seen drafts where he's going way too early, man.
Yeah, I think that like if he falls late, he's a decent pick. I mean, he's like a hometown kid. Like, obviously that's like the story everyone wants to hear. But I like Likely a lot. I think that, if we can pick him up, I think that's a really good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Something interesting. I was listening to Pat McAfee's podcast before, or no, not a Pat McAfee podcast, but another show that the guy who just went to Amazon who's going to be announcing Thursday night games with Al Michaels. He's Ohio State former quarterback who's on Saturdays as well. He was saying that Jeremy Ruckert reminds him a lot of Mark Andrews from the Ravens, which that kind of, I haven't gotten a chance to watch Jeremy Ruckert, but that kind of piqued my interest to see what he was referring to.
I want to draft the tight end in the 4th round. Is that where everybody?
Kirk Herbstreit. There we go.
Okay. Well, you said the 4th round. I would be open to doing it, yeah, because I think my boy Ferguson would definitely be there in the 4th, and I'm a believer that even Jeremy Ruckert could be there in the 4th as well.
But what about 3rd? No, not you don't want to see a tight end on the 3rd?
No, I didn't say that. I just said I'm open to drafting.
No, I just said like what round you think that would you be okay? Like, okay, from this round on, I'll be okay with.
Because I said that I think we could get the best tight end available. I think that we take the best tight end available in the 3rd round because I think that's where they're probably going to start going.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I agree. 3rd, 4th, 5th, anytime in the 3rd and after.
Yeah, I mean 4th ideally, but I think if we like what we have in the 3rd round, or if we see tight end starting to go, I think that it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's all depending on who's on the board as well.
Like if there's better players on the board in the third round, like Jamari Sawyer, I take that.
Mm-hmm. Did you get a chance to look at my mock draft yet, Manny? Because like a lot of the names you listed now are dudes that I had in there.
May sneak through it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, this man listed off Ferguson, listed off Sawyer. You gonna talk about Jalen Tolbert next? Which, by the way, Jalen Tolbert has climbed draft boards, man. I'm seeing him go into second sometimes now, even the third as well. We'll see. Max, what else you got for us, man?
I think I'm pretty much out of questions. I mean, I appreciate you letting me hop on here. I hope you guys have a good night.
Hey, man, have a good one, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
You too, bro.
And guys, I want to give a big shout out to y'all, Manny, Tonio, Logan, and of course, Marco's already off here, but shout out to him. Thank you for sticking with me all the way about 15, 16 minutes over. Have a good one. The chat, shout out to the chat. Kayla may or may not be a man, which is hilarious. It would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense with a lot of the comments I've been seeing tonight in the chat, bro. Kayla is now officially in the same category as Brooklyn. Y'all remember Brooklyn, bro?
Yeah.
Brooklyn is a legend. I haven't seen that troll account pop up in a minute.
That's one of Viz Edit's backup accounts.
Brooklyn?
Yeah.
I know he was behind Brooklyn. There was another one too. I forgot. They came around at the same time. But both of those troll accounts, like the thing is with those, you could tell right away.
It was Ash Cash.
Yeah, the thing is you could tell immediately they were troll accounts. This one, now you could tell because the comments there's no way that's real. But yo, any last thoughts, guy, before I close it out?
9 days away from the draft. Ready for it to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, Logan, thank you. Tonio, first of all, comment on the laughing, then you could comment on whatever you got to say.
Comment on what laughing? I'm lost.
Oh, you're lost? What are you laughing?
I'm laughing on the Kayla stuff.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Can say something about it.
Yo, no, I'm just reading the chat. I'm just looking at where you're writing in the chat. I'm enjoying myself, bro. This shit is mad funny.
Yeah,
yo.
Bro. You see it, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man, too funny. Yo, it's always a good time to be on your show, brother. Thank you so much, man.
No problem. Hey, yeah, yo, shout out Jaden. Thank you for that. We about 100 away from hitting 4K. I don't know what I'm gonna do once I hit 4K, but I'm gonna do something. Maybe another giveaway. I remember when I hit 2K, I did a giveaway. If we can hit 4K, this is not gonna happen. This is way too lofty of a goal. But if we could hit 4K by like the end of the month, I'll give away a draft hat, the Giants draft hat. But that's like we're already like halfway through the month, so I don't see it happening. But I'll do another giveaway when I hit 4K, man. Guys, thank you so much, though, man. The chat, you guys were hilarious, but also really good as usual, keeping it flowing, keeping the conversation going. That's it for now, and we're going to be out.